I've seen your kind, time and time again. Every fleeing man must be caught. Every secret must be unearthed. Such is the conceit of the self-proclaimed seeker of truth. But in the end, you lack the stomach for the agony that you'll bring upon yourself.
Welcome to Monad of Creation, episode 17. Well met, self-proclaimed seeker of truth. Do you lack the stomach? Or do you have what it takes to look at the depths of yourself and the abyss of what is without? All that is without sight of you, and all that is within you, the truth. Will it crush you, or will it uplift you? I don't know. It's up to you, as is everything. This episode right here is for anyone who got through Monad of Creation 16, which is Philosophy Souls 1 as well. As I do so with most episodes, I talk about general topics before we jump in. And I actually started a new YouTube channel called Philosophy Souls to merge this new grounded style of teaching self-mastery and perspective, gnosis, knowledge, unrelenting unconditional love. I delved into a new teaching method and started a YouTube channel called Philosophy Souls. And this content going forward mirrors the allegory contained in the game Dark Souls very greatly. And I run a Twitch channel where I play Dark Souls often, and many of the people there dig or have the potential and receptivity, I should say, to know and feel. So whether going forward, whether you are listening on Philosophy Souls or Monad of Creation podcast, the content is the same, except Philosophy Souls, you'll be watching Dark Souls gameplay, interesting Dark Souls gameplay. The video game by Hidetaka Miyazaki and From Software Studios. So no matter what you're listening on, enjoy this episode on integration and application of holistic intelligence. This being said, if you did not listen to the episode on holistic intelligence, which on Philosophy Souls is called The Chosen Stoic, and on the podcast is called Holistic Intelligence, the previous episode on either channel, that is what you need to listen to before coming to this, because this is our first integration and application installment, and it goes directly over what we just talked about in the last one. And we talked about mind and heart, your intellect, your intuition, your logic, your reasoning, your emotions and your feelings, and merging, symbiotically merging the two, balancing the two, and transcending all duality, all polarity. Because as long as one is stuck in either realm, they're a polarized being, whether they know it or not. It does not matter if you're aware of the dynamics that are running within your own mind and heart. It doesn't matter if you know it or not, because what truly matters are the choices and actions and thoughts you're having, making, and choosing. That's what truly matters. But it's paradoxical, because it's an enigma, because those choices, thoughts, and actions are dependent on the state of mind and heart. So go back and listen to that last episode before we talk about integration. So with integration, we're going to jump right into it. It's already been 7 minutes and 22 seconds. First things you need to ask yourself when integrating holistic intelligence are, what do I do with it? How do I embody it? It being holistic intelligence. What do I do with holistic intelligence? How do I embody holistic intelligence? So what you do with it heavily depends on who you are, what your eternal self is. What your eternal self is. How do I embody it? Also depends on what your eternal self is. And you won't know your eternal self until you balance your mind and heart. You truly won't know yourself. You truly won't be able to master yourself until you have balanced your mind and your heart. This is immutable, ever-present, timeless dynamics. So that's slightly subjective. What do you do with it and how you embody it? How is a little more specific here, because how, the dynamics of how, right, are for the most part the same for everyone. And what I would say, the two biggest things, the two most simple things that I would suggest would be deeply looking yourself in the mirror, checking yourself, and asking, what do I care about? Is it higher case care? Care based in unconditional love? Care based in truth? Care based in things, actions, places, people, whatever. Care based in creation, generative principles, things that are abundant? Or is it care based in lack, things that cause decay, stagnancy, dissonance, chaos? And once again, if you don't listen to the last installment, the last episode, you won't be able to know how to find out what you care about. So once you really think about mind and heart and transcend it, you will be able to really deeply discern and do the cross-correlative research, the objective perspective, and really looking at what you care about, really finding out if it's beneficial or lacking, if it's optimal or if it is not the thing to choose at all. And this is not duality. This is not polarity, but is it good or bad? You could make it that simple. Some people might need it that simple. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. As long as beings don't get stuck in a good, evil, black and white, victim-victimizer thing, don't do that. Is it good or bad? Does it serve your highest potential? Does what you care about serve your highest potential, your heroic potential, your eternal self? You know. So what do you care about? Ask yourself that. Just be completely honest. Be completely honest. And paying attention. Paying attention. You pay attention and you spend time. You pay attention and you spend time. What is time? For all it's worth, time is the everlasting, ever-present, present moment. The eternal now. The eternal now that is at all times the time. So what are you paying attention to? Once again, is dictated by what you care about. If you really want to find out what you care about, ask yourself what you pay attention to and what you spend your time on, because the present moment, which is where everything stems from, everything, all reality stems from the present moment. Your generative core, your perception, the now. What you're paying attention to spends that now moment, it spends that time. So the present moment is currency. It's currency, it's valuable, and it needs to be developed, it needs to be looked at closely. You know, is this serving me? You can still have your hobbies, you can still have your fun, the things that help you enjoy yourself, right? Okay? But you really need to look at if what you're paying attention to, spending your time on, and caring about is serving your eternal self and your highest potential. Your highest potential. And I'm not here to tell people what their highest potential is. You know, if anything, the message is to help perspective, perception, self-mastery, and gnosis. Knowledge of the ineffable, the unutterable one. But the truth is, it's all stemming from self, higher case self, eternal self. It is. If we had sovereign individuals who could live in unified existence, sovereign unity, individuals unified, who truly could work well and were not broken. That is what this is about. So, this is not about what to do specifically, like the very specifics of what to do. It's about what to care about ultimately. Because principles are the guiding factor of reality and life. And the foundation based in principles and behavior are dictated and rooted in what beings care about. So, it's something to consider. At this point in human history, ultimate thing is getting your perspective right. Getting your perspective clear. Clarity, strength, and discipline is really the merging and the coalescing and symbiotic. Those are the symbiotic traits with holistic intelligence and self-mastery. Clarity, strength, and discipline. Clarity, which facilitates perceiving the totality of reality. It facilitates perceiving objective reality and truth. Capital T truth, higher case. All that is, all that ever has been, and all that will continue to be. Clarity. Strength, which is based in unconditional, unrelenting love for all beings, all creation, the creator, the ineffable. Discipline. Diligence in checking yourself, checking your thoughts, obliterating emotions, mastering feelings, your actions. And that leads us to choice and application. Because we're talking about the integration and the application of holistic intelligence, which you surely have listened to. Monad of Creation, episode 16, Holistic Intelligence. Philosophy Souls on YouTube. Chosen Stoic. So, the application, how do you apply this intuitive knowledge, this heart-based intelligence, this holistic intelligence? How do you apply this natural state of being? How do you apply this natural state of being? Application. How do you apply it to life? How do you apply it? Well, choice is the ultimate application. Choice is the crux of existence. Because internally, you choose to manage your thoughts, you choose what to think about, you choose what to care about, you choose what to think. You choose what to think, right? Which dictates how you feel. In choosing what to think, and knowing through holistic intelligence, if something facilitates abundance and generative growth and evolution, or if something facilitates decay, stagnancy, and dissonance, based off what you know to choose to think about and care about, will affect your feelings and the way you behave entirely. Because what's on the inside is brewing and constantly recalibrating and, steeping and integrating with your eternal self. And your being, the entirety and the totality of your being. So your choices are seemingly the last step. But in this life, on this planet, your choices externally ultimately are the last step, because when you choose action, a manifested, generated action through your free will. Free will. The greatest gift. The greatest component. The most beautiful component. Free will must be respected. Your free will choice creates. It creates. Your choices create. So, if someone lacks holistic intelligence, if they lack a solid mind, solid heart, if they have not integrated and transcended into a symbiotic relationship within themselves, if they have not done the work, really, whether knowingly and diligently or unknowingly, subconsciously, and they just know themselves. Doesn't matter. If the prerequisite here, the being has not even stepped in the realm of being in control of themselves, their choices will likely be far less optimal, far less effective, far less generative, if at all generative. If there's no knowledge of self, there's no control of self, if there's no holistic intelligence and healthy perspective, clear discernment, strength, the choices will be either completely putrid and not so great, sometimes even life, null and void of life, or they'll just be sort of silly and make mistakes often. The choices will be silly choices, and those choices will create situations that beings would rather not be in, right? So if the being has really thought about behavior, thought about actions, thought about consequence, thought about risk reward, thought about what they're thinking about, paid attention to what they're paying attention to the quality of how well they pay attention with clarity, strength, and discipline. If they have done this, well, their choices are going to be very, engaged, yet detached. Total engagement with situations and beings, total engagement from the generative core within themselves. Total engagement, yet total detachment. At least a lot of it, right? At least a lot of it. And the choices are going to be very, very, very grounded in reality, grounded in themselves, what is outside of them, what is within them, and just healthy, generative choices. Generative, healthy, unconditionally loving, abundant choices that create goodness. I will use that word here. There is still goodness to be had. There is. However that looks, it depends for all beings. There's no one way. There is absolutely no one way. The only absolute is that there is no one way in terms of dynamics, free will, and life path. And with holistic intelligence, of course, any genuine being would want everybody to have holistic intelligence and inner peace, truly, inner beauty, regardless of outside circumstances. But can you force that on people? No, you cannot. You absolutely cannot. So the absolute is that there is no absolutism in teaching or trying to help. And sometimes, oftentimes, especially right now, the pragmatic intellect has to step in and balance the heart big time. This would not have to be said with the template that I gave. The template of the being that I gave was if they've nearly mastered themselves. So they'd be operating pretty well. So their choices would be very, very abundant and generative. So choice is the crux of existence, you know. Integration and application of holistic intelligence, of a transcended and symbiotic mind and heart within a being. What do you care about? What is the quality of the attention you're paying? What are you paying attention to? What are you spending time on? What are you spending the present moment on? It's all based off of what you care about, if you really look at it. It's deep. It's deep. Look deeply into the mirror and within yourself. It's a beautiful experience. Application, choices, your free will choice. So, as I said before, I'm keeping these episodes quite short. I've had very good experiences with people lately, conversations lately, and for those really looking at themselves in reality and from a holistic perspective with clarity, strength, and discipline. Are generating the experiences they want to experience. Also generating experiences they never thought they would ever experience. And, on the other hand, polarized beings, victim mentality or victimizer mentality, blaming or playing the victim. Future's not the Great Awakening they think it is. The Great Awakening is for those who choose eternal self with unconditional love, unrelenting unconditional love, respect for free will, and strength in the totality of their being, and embodying it. Great Awakening is for those individuals, and it always has been. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. Always has been. Sure, things have changed here and there, but the dynamics, variables are for the human experience in terms of behavior and frequency and thoughts, and feelings, and actions are the same. So, that being said, this feels like a healthy place to stop it. Keep an eye on the Telegram, Monad of Creation Telegram. If you happen to like dark fantasy or video games, check out Philosophy Souls on YouTube. I'll dedicate this one here to Hidetaka Miyazaki of From Software Studio out of Japan, and all my Twitch TV homies who I've recently come back to. You know, you'll find beautiful souls in places you never expect. You'll run away to places you think will be surely more abundant and clear, and sometimes that doesn't happen to be the case. I said more abundant and clear. Nothing is simple. Nothing is black and white. You know. And we're all sovereign individuals, and everything is up to us on our own. But we can still help those who are receptive, those who act and choose, right? So keep an eye on the Telegram, big updates coming. A huge potentiality in the future is classes. Keep an eye on that. Check out the Patreon for the Discord community, which is gaining more and more activity. Care. Present moment awareness. Choice. Hails and much love, everybody. It's up to you. Respect yourself. Check yourself. Thank you, Wakan144, for the $33 Patreon subscription. Thank you, brother.